Have you ever thought about the idea of banning gun ownership in the United States and how it would make all of us safer? What if I told you that that idea was wrong? Hi, I'm Nathan Gardner, and I've been a firearms enthusiast for as long as I can remember. I learned to shoot when I was 3 years old, and I've been hunting and shooting ever since then. I'm a firearms owner. I've taken multiple professional classes from both the United States military and civilian entities. I've possessed multiple concealed carry permits, and I'm knowledgeable to talk about this subject. The age of common sense gun control, as they call it, has actually made us less safe rather than more safe. Common sense gun control, in a way, prevents law-abiding citizens from buying the guns that actually keep them safe in today's world. If law-abiding citizens are not able to buy firearms to protect themselves, then only the people who do not abide by the law will be able to purchase firearms to protect themselves. We live in a turbulent world. Good always outweighs evil, but good needs a way to defend itself. We need a way to defend ourselves. By the end of my speech tonight, I hope that all of you might consider a different opinion on gun control. First, I'm going to tell you about the reasons that there are to own guns. We have multiple. When it comes to owning weapons, there's the idea of sporting, there's self-defense, there's family defense, and there's hunting. With sports, the Olympics has had shooting sport since 1896, the very first Olympic Games, and it has only expanded from there. First, it started with about 6 shooting sports, and now it's up to like 13. So that's the sport. Hunting, of course, has been around as long as firearms have been around, and hunting is much more environmentally friendly in many ways than buying meat from the supermarket. Family defense and self-defense. Personally, I carry about 100% of the time, but the times that I actually feel compelled to carry are when I'm with my family and have a need to defend them if something were to happen. With all of these great reasons to own firearms, why do people still want to take this right away? Inherently, people think guns are evil. With the way that the media portrays guns, it's bound to happen. People who don't have experience in the firearms community, people who have never shot a gun before, people who don't know what they're used for, are bound to think that guns are out to do no good. With the media in today's world, they're constantly reporting bad things happening with guns. They're constantly reporting someone got shot downtown. They're constantly reporting somebody is shooting up a school or shooting up a movie theater or something like that. Now, if you have a law-abiding citizen who is carrying a gun in any of those situations, that situation is going to last a much shorter amount of time, and is going to be taken care of much quicker than if you don't have somebody with a firearm who is obeying the law. The media reports all of these bad incidents, but they fail to report things like Sarah McKinley shot an armed home intruder, saving herself and her 3-year-old daughter back in 2012. It's from the Daily Mail, UK, 2012. In prominent crime areas, you have a lot of criminals who purchase guns illegally, don't own guns within the confines of the law, and are willing to use them for bad purposes, to buy drugs, to rob stores, to just kill people for absolutely no reason. Now, if you live in the inner city and no one is allowed to own a gun, robbing a bank with a firearm sounds a lot more appealing than if you live in an area where you know that 50% of the population owns a firearm. After talking about how gun control isn't the solution, let's figure out what is. The mental health in the United States of America is declining. Over the past 10 years, we have seen multiple instances of mental health decline that lead to people assuming that human life has no worth. In today's world, going to the doctors does not include any sort of mental health assessment. And even if the doctors do include a mental health assessment, they won't put it in the reports, which background checks do not pull up. We need to fix the mental health system in America. We need to stop focusing on dumb items with the gun control agenda, because they just straight up do not work. When it comes to those laws, there is a complete inability to enforce these laws. In the states of California, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, and multiple others, they're enforcing laws such as no pistol grips on rifles, no high-capacity magazines. These laws are not enforceable because anybody, criminal or otherwise, can go online and can order whatever they want for these weapons and can turn them into what the state classifies as illegal. That is a terrible way to try and control firearm violence in the United States, because it just will not work. If anybody is a criminal and wants to buy a gun in the United States, they will be able to. There are approximately the same number of firearms in the United States as there are people, according to NPR, with the article Guns in America. By informing you guys of the different types of gun ownership and the different reasons to own firearms, I hope I have convinced you that ownership is not a bad thing in the United States, and in many ways protects a lot of the rights that we hold very dear to ourselves. First Amendment, Fifth Amendment, everything is protected by our Second Amendment rights. If we don't have our Second Amendment rights, who is going to stop the government and stop criminals from taking away the rest of our rights from us? To reiterate, good is more prevalent than evil in today's world. But part of being good is defending against evil. In a perfect world, there would be no need for defensive gun ownership. But unfortunately, we do not live in a perfect world. And because of that, there is a need for defensive gun ownership in today's America. Thank you very much.